Knicks win. Game 1 against the Boston Celtics, the defending champs, 108-105 up in Boston in overtime. A fantastic, thrilling game that we got to watch. Dexter Henry, Bryan Fonseca, and the great Jarod Hector from TrueHoop. 29 points for Jalen Brunson in this one, a team high, tied for that with OG Anunoby as well. Mikal Bridges with the biggest play of his Knicks career. His biggest play of his Knicks career probably came in the last game with the tip-in. He gets it here with the big steal to seal the game. Double-double for Karl-Anthony Towns in this one. Josh Hart also with a double-double. Strong play. The Knicks actually got 14 points off the bench. Don't usually see that from them.
It's not even that many, too.
Not even that many, but we're thrilled for the 14 points. But a big win for the Knicks, 108-105. I know the chat is going to be jumping. The fans are really excited about this one. Some people predicted the Knicks to sweep. So they would have been wrong in this one. But
Knicks in 3.
Knicks in 3.
I don't know about that.
You know there's gonna be some Knicks in 4.
Yeah.
Some Knicks in 4 is coming
The
up.
dude who said Knicks in 6 is probably gonna pop in here like, oh yeah, see, I told you. And it's like, all right.
I love the energy. But bringing us some good energy is our guy, the great sports reporter for the New York Post. My guy Bryan Lewis joins us now. Bryan, what's going on, sir? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. That was
that was something.
Yeah. Everything's going good. What do you make of what here, Bryan, particularly in
your audio was breaking up a second there. Say it again.
I said, what do you make of what the Knicks were able to do here, particularly in the fourth quarter late and then in overtime to show the resiliency? Because they had a 6-point lead towards the end of the fourth quarter. They blow that. Celtics take the lead. They force overtime. Then they go up 6 in OT, and they still hold on. What does this say about the resilience and fight of this team, which some people did not think that they had?
I mean, it shows a lot about their chin, clearly. They had a bunch of opportunities. And to be fair, I mean, it wouldn't have been, shocking or staggering to see them make 2 or 3 big runs and not be able to hold off the last run by the reigning champs. But, you got to say, they showed a lot here.
You have to turn them.
And they got some big performances from some, quote, supporting cast, some of the other guys that you wanted to see step up.
Yeah. No, they did. It was really impressive. Who do you think had the most impressive performance here from the Knicks tonight? Was it Jalen Brunson, what he was able to do down the stretch? Was it OG Anunoby, who had a very efficient 29 points on 20 shots here? Who was the most impressive player for you for the Knicks in this game?
I mean, the two guys I would say was one, OG was huge. Not just, in the late going, but remember in that huge run where they were down 20. A lot of that was OG getting them back into it. And remember the last, 4.5 minutes of that run where they're down 20 and they climb back into it. About 4 minutes of that run, 4.5 minutes was with Brunson on the bench.
Yep.
So that's not even stealing minutes, which is usually all you're expecting to try to do when he's out. So OG was huge. I know the stats and the numbers may not say it. Whatever. What was Mikal? 3 for 13.
3 for 13. Yep.
Points, something like that. But that, what he did in overtime, like when you talk about Mikal's ability to change games defensively, something that he did for Phoenix, something that he has not really done for the Knicks, 2 steals and a block in overtime, that's the kind of defensive ability that he has.
Bryan, he's been so good defensively all playoffs long. Mm-hmm. And I've been saying this through, we talked about it, I've been saying this throughout the Detroit series. But I think the question for a lot of people was, can he do it against this particular team, right? Once they level up, can he get this done against this particular team? And we saw this tonight. I wonder if we're starting to see his confidence really increase on that side of the ball, and eventually we'll see it translate to the offensive side of the ball. How big do you think this is for Mikal Bridges and this Knickerbocker team going forward?
I think it's great for their confidence, and I 100% agree. I mean, the question was, can he do it against a squad like this? And you know how this is a copycat league. So when you have a team that wins with wings like this, right? And the Knicks clearly went out and built this team with an eye to being able to have two-way wings and guys who can defend on the wing. I mean, they paid OG a vast amount of money. And then they paid Brooklyn a vast amount of assets to get Mikal. I mean, the idea is, all right, let's see if we can match up with those wings. And tonight, at least, the answer was yes.
Yeah. No, tonight was the answer yes. This is what they went out and tried to do with this team. I think another thing, and I see fans in the chat saying this, the Knicks won this game where they missed 17 free throws.
They don't lack confidence, that's for sure.
Right? they missed 17 free throws in this confidence here, and they still won the game. And the Celtics did not shoot the ball well from three. They got up a lot of threes, which we know they could do. They did not shoot the ball well from downtown.
They missed 45 threes.
45 threes.
Yeah.
Right. 45 threes, right, Bryan? Bryan Fonseca here said, I think what time was it, Bryan, when it was about 3-4 minutes ago? Bryan said they got to win this game. This is the game they have to steal.
Bryan, I think my biggest takeaway from this game is they gave themselves a chance. Like the Knicks, because if you lose this game with Porzingis out, with Boston shooting, they can't hit shit. They're shooting 25% from three. They're shooting 35% from the field. Both things that might not happen again this series at all. We don't know that. So I think the Knicks, the biggest thing here is, and if you're going to win without having home court advantages, you need to win game one generally on the road. So I think the biggest takeaway I have is that they gave themselves a chance. I don't know how much of a chance. I would like for you to answer that. Like, do you think there's actually a world where they can do this now? Does game one change your mind at all on your outlook of this series?
It does. Absolutely. It does. I mean, yes, clearly you need to win a game on the road. For confidence sake, it's always best to make it game one. And then when you consider all of the outlying factors, of course, KP, we don't know what's going to happen, but you know he's not here now. So you didn't have to deal with him in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, this was, I don't want to say gettable, but this was an opportunity that was in front of you. And you can't let an opportunity like that slip. So, yeah, it definitely changes my viewpoint of what this series can be for the Knicks, because, you know, we discussed it. You know, we didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, too far out over the skis the last time I was on here. But I wasn't overly confident going into this series. Curious, but not overly confident. But this definitely changes my viewpoint of what the Knicks can do here.
So what you're saying, Bryan, is you're willing to say Knicks in 4. That's what I hear.
I mean, as long as I don't have any money on it, I can say Knicks in 4. Of course.
I hear you.
I don't think a lot of people have money on that.
I don't think a lot of people have money on that. We do have somebody in the chat that said Knicks in 4. Listen, because you know this, some fans are going to start to believe. They're going to start to believe. Now, I don't know if any of us here, I don't think myself, Jarod, Bryan, or you are going to say that we think the Knicks in 4, but I do think you're right in that it changed the trajectory and it makes you think that they have a chance to truly compete in this series. How big, I have to ask you about another player in here, because we were just lauding the fact that the Knicks had 14 bench points. Bryan, we saw double-digit bench points here in game one. Deuce McBride, I think, needed to answer the call. Only 23 points in 6 games against the Pistons. He gets 11 here today. How big was he in this victory?
Well, I mean, he got opportunity. That's the first step. You got to get an opportunity, right?
Fair.
Listen, the end is nigh. When you're getting contributions from the Knick bench, that bodes well. Yeah, I agree with you with the free throws. It's hard to imagine going on the road against the reigning champs and missing 14 free throws and winning, but things change when the Knicks can get contributions off of the bench.
I think that got balanced out by the 3-pointers. Like the 14 missed free throws are one thing, but Boston also missed 45 3-pointers. Like
that is amazing.
Like that.
That is amazing.
They shot 60 and they only made 15 of them.
I mean, the 60 doesn't shock me because that's in their DNA.
Yeah,
he's going to get them to jack threes. That's every game. It's what they're going to do.
I guess. So what I want to ask you is this: so in the fourth quarter, Boston shot what I felt were a lot of stupid shots. Do you feel like we could attribute that more so to the Knicks defense, or do you feel like this is just Boston reverting back to their old ways and having bad process and they'll clean it up for game 2 at home? Or is it a mixture of both? I'll allow that answer too.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of both. I think anytime when you're doing so much, elephant hunting out there, it's going to impact, some of your shot selection. And Boston did a lot of it. And for good reason, because early on it worked, right? I mean, there were opportunities early on for Boston to either score or get cat or Vinci in foul trouble. So you kind of get lulled into doing a little elephant hunting, and sometimes that can lead to bad process. So I don't disagree with you. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it. I mean, I do think some of it will get cleaned up for game 2, right? That's film work. But if the Knicks are going to be switching, I do think it's in Boston's DNA that there will be a good amount of that going on.
Got it there. Jarod, any questions for Bryan?
I can't even hear Bryan, so
I'm sorry.
It's all good. I got faulty my technical difficulties, so don't even worry.
No worries.
Okay.
No worries there.
I'll throw one more, Bryan, before you get out of here. How do you feel like? I mean, we talked about just them giving themselves a chance. How much do you feel like you've changed your mind on how far this series could go? And do you even think like they have a legitimate chance at actually winning the series beyond just competing? Because a lot of Knicks fans here are in the chat saying that they think that the Knicks are going to sweep this series now and that it's over, that this ain't the regular season.
Let's calm down.
But I wouldn't go that far. But I mean, tell us about like where your thoughts are.
Say Knicks in 4, Bryan. Say Knicks in 4. Just say it. Just say Knicks in 4.
I mean,
Knicks in 3.
Well, to be honest, I thought going in, Boston I thought it would be a gentleman's sweep. Now, with what I saw out, now granted, listen, I don't know. None of us know what the situation with KP is going to be.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe he comes back and plays 35 minutes.
Yeah. Sam Hauser too. It's minor, but he also
Yeah. So I mean that part I can't speak to, but assuming that Brunson's ankles stay fine.
Yeah.
Not to even speak anything, but you always have to say that. Assuming that he's healthy, and that nothing untoward happens on either side. I mean, who knows? This could be a 7-game series. This could be a barn burner.
Man, if it's a 7-game series, Bryan.
Woo, boy. We're gonna be here a lot.
Or I'm gonna still put it out there. Or if it's like you're thinking, but you won't say Knicks in 4, then you're going to have.
You're egging on the fans.
I am. I'm definitely trolling the fans here. You're gonna have a lot of people because look, Bryan, we've been talking about this, and before you go, so much of this narratives has been around Tom Thibodeau. We've been talking about this a lot on these post-game shows, and how he needed to be more malleable, adjust in the series, and I don't think anybody can say he coached a bad game tonight. I even thought that we talked about it here.
Yeah.
That out of bounds play to get Jalen Brunson the runner that didn't go with 0.6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That was a really good out of bounds play, right?
It was a great out of bounds play. It was a cleaner look than he had any business getting.
Yes.
That's why he was laughing himself. He was like, "Oh my god, I can't." I got that.
They should have wanted in regulation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't rip anything from Tibbs today. There's nothing that he did where I can look and say, "Oh, you didn't give the bench a shot." Or,
he even played Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah.
He did.
Yes.
Now he had to. I don't want to give him too much credit. He did it because he had to.
I mean, he didn't have to. He
That's true. This is true.
I mean,
he could have been Tibbs and been like, "Nah,
with it before, right?"
Right.
So,
Right. And listen, I get that, but look, I think if you're a Knicks fan, and we'll wrap on this, I think you have to look at this. This is obviously a solid win. You start off against the defending champs 1-0. No matter what happens the rest of the series, whether the Knicks win in 4, they lose in 5, they lose in 6, they win in 7, whatever you want to say, this is a win you can build off of. This is something that the front office can look at and say, okay, we saw some toughness. And Bryan, you probably heard me say this before you came on. The narratives about this team not being tough, the narratives about Mikal Bridges in particular, we got to put that in the grave, throw some dirt on it, and keep it moving, because we've seen these guys come up with some big stops in some tight games, and we saw it again here, like we've seen in Detroit against the defending champs. And I'm just saying, I think that kind of matters.
It does. It does. And Mikal's taken a lot of hell. Sometimes for stuff that has nothing to do with him, right?
Right.
I mean, he has absolutely no control whatsoever over how much draft capital was traded for him. He's got nothing to do with that. And for him to go out there and play 51 minutes, I mean, that's not an Ironman performance. What's up from Ironman? Ultra triathlon?
I like that.
That was, this is the kind of performance. Listen, I get it. He didn't shoot well. Fine. I understand that. But on the other end of the court, he did his job. And in the fourth quarter, he did it. And in overtime, he truly came through when they needed him. So that part of it, I think, we can move on. And I'll say this also. You joke, about the Knicks fans. Listen, that fan base, all they need is a sliver of hope.
Yeah.
Just the tiniest sliver, right? And their confidence is through the roof.
By the way,
God bless.
The opposite is true for Boston's fans, because all they need is a sliver, and they're like, the world is, falling, and it's, they're cursed again or whatever. So I'll be curious to hear what. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear what
Bryan,
the Celtics fans
the
are
only
saying.
thing I will say before we go is, if this was a home game, this would have been Bedlam on Broadway, right?
But it was a better win because it was a road game.
It was, but the fans will be outside of
It was,
MSG
but
right
the roof
now.
would have come off.
Bing bong part
The
two.
roof would have came off. The fans would have been outside of the Garden talking about the Knicks are going all the way, even though I'm sure some of you will say it in the chat that they're going all the way. But you're right. All you need is sliver of hope. Hey, I'm never going to hate on hope. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of hope. And they got a little hope tonight. It's a good win, 108 to 105 for the Knicks. That is our guy, Bryan Lewis, the great sports reporter here for the New York Post. Bryan, appreciate you joining us. We will see you on Wednesday for game 2. And look, I'll say this. If the Knicks go up 2-0, oh, man, that's going to be a fun one. Thanks, Bryan.
Well, you're going to try to get me to say it. I can't.
I'm going to try. Hey, if they go up 2-0, you got to say, you're halfway
Knicks
there,
in
Bryan.
3.
You're halfway there. You might as well say it then. You might as well say Knicks in 4. You're halfway there. All right, brother. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
That's the great Bryan Lewis, our great sports reporter here with the New York Post. Knicks in 4. You out here saying Knicks in 3.
Well, the one thing I'll say,
hype up the people.
No, I'm going to get the chat. The one thing I will say, we always talk about 3-point variance, right? And all right, Boston's not going to shoot like that again. But 3-point variance works the other way, right? Like I always say, if you are a 40% 3-point shooter for the season, you don't shoot 40% in every game, right? You shoot 60% for a week, then you might go down a little bit, then you might come back, right? And it averages out to 40. What if Boston just gets in a weird rut and they just, they just miss, it's like 2 games in a row. And they're not as bad on Wednesday, but they shoot 30% instead of 24%, and they lose again. Like I'm just saying, 3-point variance works, and because it's such a high variance shot, it works both ways.
No, I think it's a great point. I think you're right about that. And the chat, we've seen you guys going crazy in here. Gaza Zone, I believe you're the person that said, did he say Knicks? He's the one that said Knicks in 4? After the
He said Knicks in 3.
Knicks in something.
Yeah.
Gaza Zone thinks the series is over. Like,
let's look, I'm not going to stomp on anybody's happiness. It's not the night. This is the night, I think, if you're a Knicks fan. And I want to say this because this season has been such a roller coaster of emotions for this team. And I think some fans, not all of you, have not valued the process in this. This is part of the process. And there's going to be some joys. And also there's going to be some pain. But I think this is the night the Knicks fans should feel good.
Yeah.
You should feel really good about
I do
this.
think Gaza Zone, I think you're taking it a little far when you're saying we're judging regular season stats that don't work in the playoffs against a good team in the series off of a team that won a championship last year. Right.
It's not just a good. It's not just a good team. That's a little bit.
That's an elite team.
It's an elite.
It's an elite team. They're an elite team.
Like
top 5 in offense and defense all year. Number 2 in adjusted net rating. Like they're an elite basketball team. Elite.
Gaza said, see, now Gaza's zone, this is where he gets to stand on top of this hill. He's going to say he told us this. He did.
Told us what? He told us they'll win the series. They haven't won the series.
This is true.
The Knicks disrespect is crazy. Keep the hate, though. Who's hating?
So, okay. So let me talk about this. Because yesterday, sat right here, I had Jonathan Macri and CP with me. We all predicted the series, and we all said the Celtics will win the 6. And some Knicks fans came in the comments and are like, you guys are disgraceful because you didn't pick the Knicks. First of all, that's not my job.
Right.
Like, my job isn't to say what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
My job is to look at the information and host these shows and talk about these things and analyze. My analysis is the Celtics are a better team. I still feel that after tonight. They were not the better team tonight.
Right.
But I think they're the better team and more talented roster series. That doesn't mean they can't lose. I'm not saying that. We're not laughing at you guys' zone.
He said you can go have all you want to. No, Bryan was laughing. I will say this.
I'm not laughing at guys' zone.
You know, I went back with the 3-point variance. I will say this. The Knicks do need to find a way to not give up so many wide open threes. Because, yes, the Celtics missed 45 of them, but a lot of those 45 were wide the hell open.
I thought that's a great point, Jarod. I thought there were some where they contested well, they closed out well. I thought that was good. But I think even Tom Thibodeau and the team and his coaching staff, when they look at this tape, they're going to say, that's what we can clean up. And that's what I was going to ask you guys next. Okay, this is a feel-good win for the Knicks, but you know Boston's going to come with a different energy in game 2.
They're favored by 10 to win game 2.
You've already looked at the line.
I already got the lines out.
I just checked. I wanted to see out of curiosity. Boston, by the way, they were favored by like minus 1,000 to win the series. It's now minus 310. So they're still heavily favored, but just not nearly as heavily favored. So
look, what do you think the Knicks have to do to counter the energy of Boston? Because, like I said, if the Knicks go up 2 here, this will be the happiest Knicks fans have led a 2-0 series since 1993.
Oh, y'all gonna be already figuring out conference finals, whatever. You're gonna be booking tickets. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be.
Will warn people the last time they went up in 2-0 in a series where they were not favored in 1993 against the Bulls.
How'd that work?
That ended.
I believe there was a fellow by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan that might have.
Who the Celtics
had
do
something
not
to say
have.
about that.
The Celtics do not have
Why
that.
you gotta be bringing up
like,
okay?
the Celtics are good. They do not have that.
They don't have Michael Jeffrey Jordan, but they got pretty good players.
I guess my question would be like, all right, if Boston's going to generate threes again, if they're going to generate 63s, I don't think they're making 15. So how do the Knicks stop that? How do the Knicks stop them from getting open looks? Because that's part of it, right?
It's the process, right?
You could boil a lot of this down to. This is going to sound like an oversimplification. You could boil a lot of this down to 3-point variance because Boston did miss a lot of open looks while the Knicks defense was fine. Boston missed a lot of open looks, and they also started taking some stupid-ass shots toward the end of the game where the Knicks were defending them very well in the fourth quarter. I give them credit for that, obviously. And the Knicks also shot out of their minds from 3 on a percentage basis. They doubled them up on percentage, basically, or close to it.
Knicks were 40-something% from 3,
like 47%.
Woo!
It's like, are those two things going to replicate itself? And if they're not, then okay, what's going to be the process of the Knicks like just trying to get to cleaner offense? Because there were times where we were looking at their possessions and we're like, all right, what are they doing?
I thought the Knicks offense was really good in the second half. I thought there was
second half,
penetration.
Their first half start almost killed them, and they fought back. They fought back in really the fourth quarter. It wasn't even the third. The third they kind of hung around, but we were saying all game, like hang around, like they have the offense to come back. It's just a matter of can they get stops. They got some stops. The Celtics missed some shots. And honestly, they probably should have won it on the Jalen Brunson floor.
Well, that's the thing. When you come back from 20 points down, a bunch of things have to happen right. It's not just you play great. Yes, on both ends. The other team has to help you too, right? Particularly for a Knicks team that does not shoot a high volume of threes, right? That's not what they do. And I don't know what they shot for the regular season in threes, but I don't think they were top 5 in the league in 3-point percentage. The Knicks,
percentage and attempts, they were in the bottom half.
Okay.
Bottom third. Yeah.
So the Knicks shot over their skis a little bit. The Celtics shot below their skis a lot of it, right? Some of that was in defense. Some of that was also missing shots. So, it was a conflation of multiple events that helped them come back from the end. Still in all, the game went to overtime. It wasn't like they came back and won by 10. It still went to OT. So even if, let's say, the game plays out on Wednesday, same as it does, and everyone just regresses to the mean and shoots their numbers, Celtics win, right? If they just regress to the mean. So this is what I'm saying about Yes, one game, awesome, but what are the areas they clean up to get better to have a legitimate shot of winning game 2?
And some of that could be just like Mikal Bridges actually hit some shots. Karl Anthony
Yeah.
Towns is more of a factor.
Mhm.
Like those are things that could happen.
I love those
to
2
the Knicks'
points
favor.
there.
You know
I like
what I
those
mean?
2 points there. Karl Anthony
Yeah.
Towns, granted, I think his double matters here with 14 points, 13 rebounds. He was only 6 of 13. Now, to give the Knicks credit, in the first half, they were going a lot to him in the post, and he was being aggressive.
And they went away from that.
I think foul trouble does
That
have an
helped.
impact into that,
Yep.
too. Could Mikal Bridges have a better offensive game? But I'll say this all the time. Who gives a damn if Mikal Bridges shoots 3 of 13 if he's going to play that kind of defense, which you brought him here for, to play in clutch moments?
Mhm.
The name of the game is to win possessions, as we talk about all the time. What Mikal Bridges did tonight helped the Knicks win possessions when it mattered the most. Now, are there things they got to clean up? Sure.
OG Anunoby, shoot that right away.
Right.
You know,
You
that's
look-
one of the things.
OG Anunoby 10 of 20 from the field today, 4 of 11, I think, from 3.
He gets to catch a shoot opportunity and wants to dribble in and shoot an 18-footer. It's like you have the open look. Just shoot it.
Just shoot it.
Or pass it. Like make a
another thing
quicker
I
decision.
will add that I think also adds to the amount of 3-point attempts that we saw from the Celtics was the fact that the Knicks were out-rebounded by 10 in this game, 59 to 49. They gave a lot of second chances to Celtics that had to make the defense work that hard. You talked about the tired legs. You were concerned about that late. If the Knicks do that again for another game after they played a little bit of a longer series than the Celtics, those
They
are
can
little
catch
things start
up.
to catch up to you.
Yeah.
So they've got to be better on the glass. That's something.
But they were better in the second half.
They were.
There were
Yes,
moments.
that's
There were moments though in that fourth one. I was like, "Oh, it's 3 possessions extra." But I thought they closed the rebound gap quite a bit. I thought in the second half.
Yeah, I thought they did. So there are little things, and they're going to have to match the energy. The Boston's going to come out. The crowd's going to be pumped up there in Boston. They're going to come. The Knicks can't just come out and say, "Hey, we're satisfied that we got one."
Is the Boston crowd going to be pumped up? I feel like they're going to be nervous because they're going to be like, "Oh God, I thought we were past this. They got a title."
Nah. They're Boston. They're
They're gonna be wired. They're gonna be wired.
We couldn't hear the crowd because obviously we're doing this with you guys, but I'm gonna watch it back and I want to see like what the energy was like because Boston has a very distinct like
They do get a little
relative to
nervous, but I
most.
feel like a lot of fan bases when their team you can hear it. It
Boston's
gets nervous.
Boston is like top 1 or 2, just like oh shit.
I will say again
because they've grown up with Tatum and Brown, just like kind of just like being uneasy at the end of it.
but they also won 16 or 17, whatever the NBA titles as a franchise. So like,
Nobody's trying to hear their nervousness.
so like, yeah. So
Nobody
what
crying for
nervousness you talking about? Like,
no. Don't
Not you. I'm just mean in general.
I'm like, hold on.
That's incredible. Size 9 says Mikal 8 points in the fourth. Let's not carry it away. No, I'm not saying that he didn't score and didn't have points that were big, but I think the bigger part of his game was him being what he did on the defensive end. His points, the 3 he hit was huge in the fourth quarter. It's fine. Right?
I will also say that
Size 9 says anything that Mikal does is magnified to greatness, but it's never the same for Tibbs. Magnified to greatness for Mikal? I feel like Mikal stuff gets scrutinized.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah,
it tells what you mean. I will say this also, keep in mind, the Celtics did build a 20-point lead. So
they did also give away a 20 points.
100%.
They do both things
Right.
little more than
Right.
they
But
should.
the point being is that, they are, let's put it this way. Barring the Knicks playing lights out and the Celtics playing atrocious basketball, I don't know that the Celtics do the same. I mean, the Knicks do the same, where they're building 20-point leads. I just feel like the Celtics are they're a better basketball team, right? Because again, all that said, the game still had to go to overtime to get a win. You needed 45 missed threes. So again, good win. Let's clean up the wide open threes like we talked about on your process, right? Because look, when the Knicks make their multiple and tertiary efforts, they're great. In that fourth quarter and OT, they were awesome in many possessions defensively.
Yeah.
Really good on defense. Can they do that again? I think they can.
And credit to the Knicks also for having better shot selection late in the game.
And
too.
executing late, right? Running their offense and getting what they wanted, right?
Now, sometimes I'm nitpicking here a little bit. I thought a little bit late. We thought they tried to hunt Al Horford a little bit too much.
Mhm.
The offense got too much heliocentric.
Yeah, I would have.
But I do also have to say there were some times where some big passes. The Jalen Brunson pass to OG Anunoby for the corner 3. You saw the Mikal Bridges. They swung around. Josh Hart.
He made a corner 3 too.
Yeah, he made a corner 3 as well too. So those things were really, really good.
Towns had a tip in. That was pretty late in the game.
Big
as
tip
well.
in. Yep.
And that was when we were like, "Yo," where I said, "I was
Where's
like,
he
yo,
been?
we haven't because we haven't heard from him in a while from an offensive standpoint, but He got a big tip. Like that's what you need. You need guys to just make plays when it
I
matters.
like the confidence.
The
of
Knicks
some of
the
people.
Knicks made more plays than the Celtics. Bottom line down the stretch.
That's
For sure.
Like,
that's what
and
it came
sometimes
down
that's what it comes
That's
down
all-
to win games.
Yeah.
Now, what can that do for a team? I do believe that. Listen, momentum is as good as the energy you bring. Into
Oh, the
possession.
Knicks are. You saw them after that game. Mikal was pumped.
Yeah.
Brunson was pumped. Look, Knicks fans, be happy. You are up 1-0
on the champs.
Only that is a good spot to be in.
And
Now,
not even at home yet.
right? Be greedy and try to win game 2.
Yeah.
So you go home up 2-0.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Celtics been eating long enough. You don't have to stop being greedy like DMX. Be greedy. Be greedy. Try to get another win. You'll see. Size 9 says they're going to blow him out twice. He said he's here. And
Who's going to blow who out twice?
He said we. So he's talking
Knicks.
about the Knicks.
Okay.
And he said, Mo says, never sleep in Boston fans. Remember when the Yankees were up 3-1?
They were up 3-0.
They were up 3-0. Actually, so
which is worse.
they were at 3-0. And
look, if the Knicks get a 3-0 lead, I don't think they're gonna cough it up and lose 4 straight.
if the Knicks go up
I think that's
3-0,
gonna happen.
Oh,
I mean, Miami nearly did.
It's
but
going to be pandemonium in this city.
yeah,
Pandemonium.
ridiculous.
Mo said those train cars leaving North Station are quiet as F.
They probably are.
We already beat their arrogance. Now we gotta beat their best shot, and they're gonna give up. See.
I
See.
Yeah.
This is what people are gonna say to some Knicks.
But this
some
is what
of y'all
they
can't
want.
have nice things.
But they want us to feed them. They want us to be like, yeah, they're gonna win this series now.
My bad. 3-0.
in 4 games.
Nah,
Like,
you good, Mo.
you-
We
you're
not-
right, Mo.
You're all right, Mo.
but I'm telling. Look, if they win game 2,
Oh,
my God.
it's over.
if they win game
goodness.
2, I will sound very different. I'm cautious. I'm very, very cautious.
I will
because
be happy
I don't
for
think-
everyone. If
I
they
don't
win
think,
game
and
2.
this happens a lot of times in NBA playoffs. We lose sight of this all the time. Game 1s, a lot of weird shit just happens, and it's not often reflective of how the rest of the series is going to be.
Very true.
So not all the time,
And sometimes it does reflect
lot-
about their
yeah,
series
but a
gonna go.
lot of times it does not. It's even in round 2 at this point in a year. So we'll like game 2. I feel like we're gonna know a lot. Like it's like, is it gonna be a Celtics rebound and they just blow them out? Because then that'll be like, all right, so things are back to normal. But if it's another game where it's like, oh,
A
the
nail
Knicks are-
biter. And
yeah.
it's, yeah.
a nail biter, Boston's doing dumb shit at the end, the Knicks are making more plays. Maybe Boston squeezes this one out, then it's like, oh, the Knicks actually like going back to the Garden are in a pretty good position here.
Yeah.
And they already are because they got one.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you don't want to get blown out in the second game either. You want to win first.
I think the Knicks. I said I thought the Knicks were going to be competitive in all these games. They were competitive tonight. I love the fight. The show. Even if they had lost this game, I still would be saying the same thing. Mo said he's just subscribed. Thank you. We appreciate you for
Appreciate that, Mo.
Come and rock with us for game 2 as well. Here, I got to ask you this because this popped in my mind, and everybody in the chat, you can answer this too. Hit that like button, subscribe. Is this the best Knicks playoff win of the Tibbs era?
I think it has to.
It's got to be.
Right?
It's got to be.
Hard to say it's
because
not.
last year there were some good ones, but
Yeah, good
Philly
wins.
game 6.
yeah,
that was
Philly
good.
game
That's the
2.
one I was really thinking about when you said before, like, is this? But this team is.
But
better than
this
that
is
Philly
the
team.
defending champions in game 1 on their home court in overtime. Yeah, I think this means
And you
more.
were-
In a series where some of us saying Tibbs is coaching for his coaching life.
I also think it would have been a bad loss considering like it was on the table for them because Boston's not going to.
Well, we were saying that early in the game. We were like, this is a game you got to win.
Porzingis leaving at halftime. I'm like, yo, the Knicks have to. If you're going to give yourself a real chance in the series, you have to finish this off. Like you absolutely have to.
And they
a
did.
good team would, and they won this game. So I don't even. I think Sixers game 6 is good, but it's not quite this. Some of them Pacers wins were good too. They had a really nice Pacer win on the road, but I don't think it's quite this. And then from prior to that, I mean, I don't even know what you could compare it to.
Yeah. I'm not really sure that I think this is their best win just because the stakes, the opponent. I don't care if KP went out.
And everyone saying, literally everyone being uniform and like they're going to lose this series. So for them to come out and win game 1, I think is a hell of a statement.
Big statement.
And a reminder that like, yo, and this is why I like sports and don't mind being wrong about shit, even though I don't think I'm going to be wrong about the series, is sports are supposed to surprise you. Like these are the
That's
things
why we watch.
This is why we watch. This is why we cover them. Like we're supposed to be wrong on these things sometimes. But as far as the series goes, like I'm not changing my mind yet. We'll see what happens in game 2.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there too. I did think the Knicks were going to win 2 games in this series, so they're halfway to what I predicted.
Yeah.
I did think these games were going to be close. I'm not surprised the Knicks fought back. I'm not surprised it was close till the end of the second quarter, and then they came back. I expect this. But Mo says here he doesn't want to get ahead of himself.
I want
But I
Indiana.
want Indiana. Mo, tremendous job by you to say I don't want to get ahead of myself.
And then get ahead of
only
yourself.
get ahead of yourself, which I'm not even mad at you at, right? Because I get it, Knicks fans. Now you feel like you can dream.
Yeah, right.
You feel like
right.
you've seen
Beautiful.
something
Yes.
to where you
See,
can beat
size
this team.
9, that's the wrong mentality to have. Don't matter what happens next game. We got what we came for. Nope. That is
Talk
not
about
the mentality.
that. Why is that the wrong mentality to have?
Because when you go out with the idea of all we got to do is just split and get one, you're already defeating yourself. Your job is to win every game in front of you. You got one, you can get the second game.
Also,
that split, whatever, that's loser mentality, man.
Yeah. Also, Boston better on the road than at home.
There you go.
In the playoffs.
There you go.
That's the other thing too. Like, so they're gonna obviously try to win game 2. We're not like reinventing the wheel here, but I'm not gonna say game 2 is like essential to winning the series because I think game 1 was. So to some degree, maybe you got your game is not super overstated, but Boston, just because you're going back to the Garden doesn't mean like, oh, Boston's just gonna roll over either. They're very good in road play. They're better in road playoff games.
I will say this.
At home.
To me, for the Knicks to win this series, they got to go. I think they got to go home up 2-0. To me, if they want to win the series, they got to go home. I have much more confidence in Boston coming back from being down 0-2 than I do the Knicks coming back from being down 0-2.
Yeah, look.
I understand that.
The data will back it up. That Boston's very good after losses, very good on the road in playoff games over the last like few seasons or whatever.
See, there you go. Don't take your foot off the pedal. That's the attitude, Mo. Bag of Jones, is that who that
Bag of
is?
Jones, yeah.
We have to be greedy because we're not doing. See, yes, greedy. None of this. We got one, whatever. No, get 2.
Yeah,
get 2.
Because what happens is if you get 1. And Boston comes back and wins 2 and 3, it's like, oh, like they got home court back already. And now you're in a position where you have to, win again. Like
the point you're making, Jarod, is you have to continuously put all the pressure on Boston.
Yes.
Right. The Knicks now.
Right.
But
the Knicks are expected to lose this series by everybody who prognosticates. If Boston goes down 0-2, all the pressure is on them.
All hell breaks loose.
They were 4-0 against the Knicks during the regular season. They had dominated. If they lose 2 games to the Knicks, let's say they lose 2 close games to the Knicks, and that's only going to give the Knicks confidence. But I do think Boston has a better chance to come back 2-0, down 0-2 than the Knicks would if they were down 0-2. But still, the Knicks, I don't want to call this house money and being relaxed.
No.
Just because you got house money,
just because they're so good on the road,
doesn't mean you don't want to win all the money.
Yeah. All the money.
All the money's on the table. That doesn't mean you didn't come here to take it all. The way you have to look at every game in the playoffs is adjustments from game to game, but you're trying to win every game. You are trying to win every game and get the series done with as soon as possible. You're not going up there looking for a split. A split is nice. If you get 1, is wonderful. But the goal is
1 is nice, 2 is ideal.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what you want. It's what I said to start the show tonight, right? You never want to get into a position in a series where you have to win 4 of the next 5, 2 of the next 3. Like you don't want that, right?
Yeah.
You don't. That's not where you want to be in a series. You don't want that.
And that's why game 2 is so big for the Celtics. All the pressure's on the Celtics here.
Yeah.
But the Knicks can't relax. And I think with their leadership, I think with Jalen Brunson, I haven't heard all the quotes or watched it from the guys coming out, but I'm sure they're talking about right now. Jalen Brunson and Tom Thibodeau and this whole crew, they're not coming up here with the mindset that they came here to win 1.
Oh, they came to win 2.
That's the most important thing.
And no athletes competing at this level. These are the final 8 teams in the NBA are coming in here and be like, yeah, we just came here to win 1 game.
James Harden, but
Oh, here we go. Here we go. And on that note,
oh my God, it had to come back. It had to come back to this. The first 5 minutes of the game, Bag of Jones says, game 2 will show me whether the Knicks are satisfied with winning only 1 game in Boston. I do think how they come out early is going to matter. Bag of Jones,
I think how Boston comes out is going to matter more.
But you know what's funny? I expect Boston to come out with a haymaker. I think, and maybe Bag of Jones, if you're making this point, I don't want to put words in your mouth, how the Knicks respond to the haymaker. Right? That's going to be very important because I expect Boston to come out focused. If Boston comes out and hits their first 4 threes, and we're like, oh, shit, this looks like we thought it would.
Yo, Gaza Zone, I am loving his confidence right now. I'm going to laugh at y'all when we land.
What he says?
When we
do something to their you-know-what's at home. Y'all have too much confidence in Boston. They're lucky we was hurt last year. It would have been a Knicks championship. My guy.
Sir.
My guy.
Sir.
Woo, you wildin'. Sir. You wildin'.
Sir. whatever you are sipping on at home has got you feeling good. I understand you are high off your own supply on the 6th win. I understand all that, sir.
He said Knicks championship last season.
And here's the thing. I get it. You got to have the irrational confidence. We're just looking at the facts here. We're not saying this. We want the Knicks to win. I want to continue doing these with you. I'm not sitting here rooting for the Knicks not to win. I hope I'm wrong. But, man, I didn't think y'all would get high this easily. That's all I'm saying.
Gaza's Zone got Knicks in 3, baby. Knicks in 3.
Sir Small says if you don't think New York is going to be hungry next game,
we
crazy.
do.
Them boys are hungry. Nah,
I
think they do.
Oh yeah, we do.
I
don't think Sir Small is saying we're not.
We're not, but I think he's saying it to everybody.
General statement.
I just think there's no way that this team, with the leadership, and I have such respect for Jalen Brunson, is going to be focused. Yeah. Not focused on trying to take 2 here.
And the other thing I'll say about them too.
Also, Joe Mazzulla, you mentioned Jalen Brunson. Joe Mazzulla is going to make sure.
Oh, Lord, that dude.
He's going to have the focus for game 2.
Yeah. Gaza's Zone, why we can't know what we're talking about? What's it?
Hey, man.
Why we can't?
Hey.
I will say this. You know what else that the Knicks have? There's a bit of defiance amongst that group, particularly Jalen, Josh, Mikal, and OG. I don't know if you heard the last series with Detroit, and Jalen was very particular about how he said this. And he was being tongue-in-cheek, but he said it with a certain tone. He was like, I'm just glad Tibbs played us all those minutes all season long so we could be ready. Yeah. So I think they are also coming from the standpoint of everybody's saying we're going to be tired, we're going to run out of gas because we ain't got no minutes. We're going to show y'all we ain't run out of no gas, right? So they have that also in their mindset, that defiance, and then going into overtime and winning that game is going to give them even more defiance about this idea of no minutes, low, whatever. Like I just feel like they're feeling a certain kind of way about this.
That's something you can't always account for in sports, and this is to the point where guys is on other people about when you look at the numbers and stuff, you can't sometimes get that the team that wants something to prove. That's an energy that sometimes is not quantifiable. You can't match it. I did say this before the playoffs. I thought the Knicks would come out and play well in these playoffs. I thought they had something to prove. I think they had heard the stuff that people have been saying all year. They looked at the numbers. They couldn't play well against the elite teams. We've now seen the last 2 games against Boston they've played. They've been close games. They lost one, and they won one tonight. Really, the one tonight is the one that really counts in the playoffs. They did that. And Gaza's Zone, I hear you saying you told us so. It is one game.
Yeah, you haven't told us anything, really.
You told us they're going to win the series. It's first to 4, not first to 1. It's first to 4, and we are with you. We want to see
them
win.
3 more to go. 3 more to
go. We want to see them win. We're not against you. We love your enthusiasm. We might be telling you to curb it a little bit, but we want your enthusiasm. It's okay, man. It's one game. You should be hyped. As a Knicks fan, you should get down. I'm thrilled we didn't have to talk about Tibbs in this post game. Because if it's Tibbs, they lost the game. It's coaching. You know the coach today. I'm glad we didn't have to talk about that.
He had a great out of bounds play.
He did.
I'm thrilled we didn't have to talk about that today, and we're able to talk about what the Knicks were able to do here. But we have been rocking for a long time. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. I think this one was so good we had to have a bit of an extended post game here, and so I think it's fine. This was a fun one, fellas. Jarod,
yes, sir.
You now join. How many games have we done? We've done 6. Everything except for game 4.
6, yeah.
Every 6-1.
Yeah, because that's silly NFL draft.
Bunch of people have gone 1-0. You've now gone 1-0 as a guest sitting in the seat.
Hey, man, listen, I'm here to bring y'all. Listen, I tell y'all Knicks fans, right? I bring you the real, the truth. Gaza's Zone saying y'all don't believe. Listen, but y'all will see. Hey, man.
Okay.
I just bring the truths, man. Right. I'll see. I'll see truth. That's all I see, my guy.
He works for TrueHoop.
Right. I see truths. Right. I see truths. That's it. That's all I see is truths.
Hey, man. If the truth is, the Knicks were the better team tonight.
Right. That's it. That's the truth.
We have not lied to you about that.
No lie.
We have not lied numbers. We're talking about playoff numbers right here. They were the better team tonight. They also did miss 17 free throws. The other team also missed 45 threes. These are all facts. The Knicks didn't make big plays down the stretch. It is fine. They won the game. You play to win the game.
Knicks won. Well. Knicks were better.
Yeah, those are facts.
45 threes, man.
Facts.
It's 135 points.
Hey, man. And the Knicks, they might have had 45 threes. The Knicks grabbed maybe half of the offensive rebounds they let up. So
game 2 is going to tell us a lot, especially early.
He said, "Don't attach your loser mentality."
Gaza.
No. Size 9.
Oh, sorry.
What loser mentality, my guy? What are you talking about? I'm telling y'all not to have loser mentality.
Look, man. Sir Small's out here predicting a Wolves Knicks finals.
Oh my God, you fans get in your feelings too much, man. Really?
Woo! That
Good
was
Lord.
Wolves Knicks finals. Julius Randle back at that. Oh,
That's not happening.
Adam Silver will be hitting the reset button immediately. Attach yourself. We're like, oh,
That's not
please get
happening.
Oh,
The Wolves ain't
man.
beating OKC. That's for sure.
got that right.
That's not happening.
That ain't happening.
Hey, that's why they play the games. And that's why they play. Do you see what I said there?
Well, if SGA gets hurt, then all bets
play
are off.
the games. We've played one in
Don't
the
want
series.
that to happen this
The
year.
Knicks have won. This is a fantastic win. Probably the best Knicks win in the playoffs. Like I said,
Gaza
best
Zone's
Knicks
like,
win.
look at playoff numbers this year. The Celtics have better playoff numbers. They had a better series.
We just talked
against
about playoff
Orlando.
numbers this whole game.
Yeah,
We just talked about it this game. Like the numbers we're talking about the game tonight are playoff numbers. What are we talking about here? Hey, that's it. We're running out of time.
Yeah, we're done. We're good.
It's all right, man.
We'll
Knicks
see y'all
fans,
Wednesday.
enjoy. 1-0, baby, enjoy.
Show up Wednesday.
3 to go. 3 more to go.
Yes.
See what happens.
Gaza Zone, we love you, man. Size 9, we love you. All the people who's in the chat, comments, especially you guys who come through for the post game. I even saw it. I forgot to shout him out. What's our guy who's from Detroit? Who was here from the
Dad
last
Adventure
game?
Pod.
Dad Adventure Podcast. Shout out to you. We saw you in the chat. He came back to join. He's a Pistons fan. He still came back because that's the good kind of quality programming that we're giving you. The program is so quality. Pistons fan came back.
Yes, sir.
Just to watch.
We had a
this
Heat
again.
fan earlier.
You had
also.
a Heat fan up in here earlier.
Yeah.
So it's good. I saw some of the Celtic haters in the chat. We saw you too. We saw you. Not Celtics haters.
Really?
Knicks haters that were Celtics fans.
Oh,
We saw
I
you-
didn't
we
see
saw
much
you
of
too.
them today. I suspect that we'll see them after a Celtics win because they're front runners.
I'm sure they will be.
See,
there.
now you're saying Boston's a playing team. We're done.
No, he's at Boston played a playing team in
Boston.
there. And that, so I'm assuming he's meeting in the first round, Orlando.
Oh, the Magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have better playoff numbers. You want to talk about playoff numbers?
It's all right. Listen. Gaza Zone, you good, man. 1-0, baby. 1-0. 3 more to go.
Yeah,
3 more to go, Gaza Zone.
The series is over. That's it. The Knicks. We can give them the title now. We don't have to do the shows anymore.
No more.
Just
No
give them
more.
the title. Yeah.
Why come back on Wednesday?
Yeah, why come back?
Why?
I think Adam Silver's going to end the playoffs.
Let's
right
schedule
now.
the parade in the,
Right
in the
now.
Canyon of
It'll be
Heroes.
over. Yeah.
Let's schedule it for what? Tomorrow? Nah,
Yeah,
it's too early. Too soon. Friday.
Friday.
yeah.
Friday.
Canyon of Heroes.
Make sure I get my credentials.
Series
There
is
you go.
over.
Credentials.
Series is
Credentials
over. It's over.
All
It's
right.
over, guys. It's on.
Enjoy that one,
Fuck
guys.
outta
Satan.
Fucking.
All right, man. All right.
Honestly.
We wilding. All right. We wilding.
Honestly.
It's about that time.
I understand what's happening here. You know what I have to learn from all this? They're trying to get us to say Knicks in 4 the way I was trying to get Brian Lewis to say Knicks
Yeah,
in 4.
man.
That's what they're trying to do. So I'm not gonna. Y'all.
They
not
are
gonna get me to
fans,
say that.
fanatics, which by definition means they're irrational. It's all good. That's what makes being a fan so much fun.
Oh man, damn, they out here.
I don't know about that.
Enjoy.
For some people.
Enjoy, baby. Enjoy.
Enjoy the fandom. Enjoy the night. Great wins for the Knicks. 108 to 105. We are back on Wednesday. We'll be right here, myself and Bryan Fonseca. Jarod will not be here, but he'll have to bring us good luck back at another time. Our guest for game 2. This is going to be a fun one, and it lined up perfectly. Our guest for game 2 will be the great Grady Diaz, aka the mid-range mommy, who is a Celtics fan.
Yep.
We are going to be sitting here with the Celtics fan.
pray for Boston, idiot. You clown.
Yeah, I know.
What'd you say?
I know. Like he would say any of this to my face.
Oh my God, this is
Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are we talking about?
all right, man. Why is the stream still on? Click the end of this thing.
Please.
Hey, come back for game 2.
Yo,
We
based
appreciate you.
on the way it's tweeting, he might be a bot.
Very possibly.
I don't know.
Hey, troll's gonna troll. It is what it is. Anyway, join us for game 2. Brian and I will be here with Grady Diaz
Yes, sir.
on Wednesday. I believe that is another 7 o'clock tip. I like 7
It
o'clock
is
tips.
7.
I do like 7
Didn't
o'clock
pay
tips.
off tonight because we got overtime, but still.
It is what it is. We'll rock with you. Come back, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back for game 2 on Wednesday. For Bryan Fonseca, the great Jarod Hector for TrueHoop, I'm Dexter Henry. We will catch you on Wednesday, game 2. Peace, y'all. Nixon, you'll find that out on Wednesday.